Well, let's go to Melbourne now, and joining us live is the Labor MP Peter Khalil. Peter, good to see you. So all systems go for the Job Summit this week. Are you about to reverse the Stage 3 tax cuts, though?
Peter, good morning to you. A couple of points about the taxation reform and the tax cuts. Our priority actually is to make multinationals pay their fair share of tax because they have been getting away with blue murder. Some big multinational companies paying 4 cents, 5 cents in the dollar, whereas your local small business is paying their full tax rate because those big companies can offshore their headquarters and do all sorts of accounting tricks to not pay where they're making their profits. And that's got to stop, and there's a big package in place in that, as well as a package around cutting all the rorts and all the stuff that went on in the previous government to try and, peg back some of that $1 trillion debt. Now, with respect to the tax cuts that you raised, the Prime Minister has been pretty clear on this. This was passed through Parliament, I think, a couple of years ago now. My understanding is that the Stage 3 of those income tax cuts are not due to commence for another 2 years.
Yeah.
And that Stage 3 also includes tax cuts for people making from $45,000 up to about $200K, which is a significant tax cut for those people in the middle income bracket. And again, very important with respect to relieving the cost of living. But they don't come in for another 2 years, and that's an important point.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister said very clearly he took that to the election, and he's following through on that commitment.
Yeah, I mean, back on you talk about the multinationals and taking back some money from them at the moment. I mean, that pales in comparison to what you could earn back by reversing the tax cuts, the Stage 3 tax cuts, though.
Well, there's a lot of different measures that the Treasurer and the government can take to peg back that $1 trillion debt. As I said, there were a lot of rorts, and we're talking in the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, with respect to the multinational tax avoidance or tax not paying their fair share of tax. And there are many other measures to relieve cost of living in the budget. So, you can't just look at one thing in isolation, Peter.
Yeah.
There are many things that the Treasurer is looking at. But as I said,
sure, but that one thing in isolation, the Stage 3 tax cuts, that's a whole stack of money.
Yeah, but as I said, that doesn't come in for another 2 years, July 1st, 2024. And the point that the Prime Minister has made, I think as recently as yesterday in the National Press Club, was that was something that was taken to the election, and he's standing by that commitment that he made.
Have times not changed since they were legislated, though?
Times always change, Peter, as you know, and I think the government is well within its rights to always assess what is the right course of action. And it's always about getting the balance right between commitments made during elections, because everyone says, politicians they don't keep their promises, versus look, times have changed. You've got to change with the facts on the ground. So it's always about getting that balance right. And as I said yesterday, the Prime Minister is pretty clear that there'll be those Stage 3 tax cuts were passed by Parliament, and that was a commitment that he took to the last election.